All right. And we got it to work immediately. Excellent. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the first broadcast of this new series of how to become a pioneer in the golden age. And we start off with a first big summary of the world situation. And we will go through a few steps here. And they are that we're going to first check the energies for everybody who's here with us. And then we're going to do that through this super fantastic deep wisdom understanding of the human emotions through a knowledge called power versus force. So I will guide you through that and help you to understand it so we can raise our vibration, learn to do it ourselves, and then do it here together. After that, I will hold the presentation for this evening. After that, we will have a Q&A. And then we will end with a guided meditation to raise the energy even more, and then send it out to the whole group that's here with us, and then send it to the whole world. So we will lift the energies in the quantum field. So that's the program for this evening. So again, warm welcome, everybody. And hello, Stefan, Marika, Magnus, and Anne. And thank you, Magnus, for being helping here in the chat. Magnus is a moderator here, so he will help us to keep the chat clean. If there is any negative trolls coming in, he will take care of that. And everybody just, welcome to share your thoughts and feelings when we open up for the Q&A. And here in the beginning, just to say hello. So, okay. Let's see. Let's see. We can open up there. All right. Do like that. All right. Just a few settings to fix. All right. So we will start with, I will change the background here and show you the energy scale. And here it is. All right. So for you who are new to this, it's a very simple understanding and so powerful. It's a man who his name is David Hawkins, and he wrote a book, I think it's in the beginning of the 90s, called Power versus Force. And that is after studying the human emotions and also in what is it called? Muscle testing. So when you do muscle testing, you get a clear understanding of yes and no questions. So you tune into the body's knowledge is beyond the mind. And this has been used now for, since the book came out. It's a huge understanding. So it's spreading all over the world, and I love it. It's so clear and obvious. So actually, I can start by doing this. So if you see this scale from the lowest bottom, shame and guilt, And then it goes up to neutrality. So all this is the negative scale, the negative emotions where we fall down to now and then. And the key now is to clear all the negativity, take care of all the trauma that we have from our childhood and past lives, and become reborn, free, fresh, to start a journey from neutrality. So in the future, when we fall down, we don't fall down into the negative scale. We stay in neutrality. So all triggers, everything that triggers us in life, that makes us fall down and become negative, that is the old karma. And we are now in the process of clearing the old karma wheel and move up to the next level of evolution in humankind's progress and evolution. So huge. So that is the first key of becoming a pioneer in the golden age. Clear all the negativity and stand strong in the positive aspects. So then it starts with willingness. First, moving forward, yes, I'm open, willing. And then it comes to acceptance, accept whatever it is, and those, especially those things that we can't control. Next step is reason, meaning of life. Why do we get up in the morning? Huge. So this is the next step of becoming a pioneer in the golden age. And that is that we are no longer living a 3D life doing meaningless things to make money, to pay for our home and, food on the table. No, we are here following our blueprint, the real reason why we came to this earth, especially this lifetime. We're doing our mission. We're living our mission and spreading light to the world. So we add light to the world. So next step is that we are doing that with heart wide open, loving, powerful. Next step is joy. So we also have come to the joyous understanding of life in beingness. And the next step, peace. So now and then, we just need to do this. Whatever happens, whatever is going on in life, and just go out to nature and recharge. Recharge, recharge. Just fill ourselves through. Maybe everybody is not able to do it daily, but we can always meditate and find that inner peace wherever we are. And then go out to nature a few times in the week to just recharge and really build up that bank account of peace. And then the final step, enlightenment. And that is when we really start to work with magic, the energies of synchronicity and amazing backup from the universe. So now we're not alone anymore. We are co-creators here, doing what we came to do, being the ground crew, having everything on, everything is activated, crown chakra on, like a skeleton is the antenna. So we can download all the messages from the spiritual realm and take it down and help to manifest it. So now we're co-creating with the divine. And that is where more and more people now start to tune into. So we are leaving the old ego life and start to live the spiritual life. And if we look here to this chart, this is where most human has live right now and have lived for thousands of years since the fall of when we fell from grace in the time of Atlantis and Lemuria, living all the way down here in suffering. Over the last century, we have moved up to getting by. And many are now struggling to just getting by. So in this huge shift that we're in, this paradigm shift and the war against humanity, those who control everything, They want to keep most of humanity down here, suffering and just getting by. But as I shared this list here, we're so many who are now lifting ourselves up from this and start to get in to the flow. So that's what we're going to do here. And that comes down to, are we contracted, blocked, or are we in expansion, moving up? So I hope that cleared everything for you who are new. And now, where are you? How do you feel? Where are you in this list? And of course, this can fluctuate. So maybe if you look at the last week or month, or maybe just today. So kindly share where you are, and we'll see if we can help lift a little bit if there is anyone that needs a little puff up. So first out is Cliff. Hello, Cliff. Not back to full health yet, okay? Going in the right direction, excellent. My level, 750 and up. Fantastic, great. So in the flow. Magnus and Anne has been a bit up and down a few weeks. Now that you're here, again, Björn, it's 1,000 and up. All right. Very, very good. Very, very. Oh, I should also add that. So over the last few years, I've been doing this, and there is something very interesting that have happened over the last 6 to 8 months, and that is that we have moved beyond the 1,000 level, because this understanding was made during the 90s. And since the 90s, all the frequency shifts and upgrades has actually moved us beyond what we thought was the roof of 1,000. So we have now moved beyond that quite a lot. And when I've held retreats, we are all blown away over the level we reach by the end of the retreats. So we're going to understand this much better as we go, and understand that what the level or the ultimate level is, I don't know. This is what we're going to find out as we go, but it's for sure beyond what we see here. Okay. Johanna, 600, a lot of challenges to work with, but excited. Same for all of us, Johanna. So excellent to hear. Great. Madeleine, hello, Björn. Peace and days of enlightenment. Great to have you back. Just finished yesterday's Björn time. Okay. So what a great Sunday to have 6 hours of Björn. Thank you for your light. Thank you, Madeleine. You're so kind. And another Björn, Shintamani. Good evening, brother, and all beautiful souls. Okay. So if this is the first time for you, I understand maybe you would just want to keep yourself in the background a little bit. That's okay. And if you have a little bit of questions about this, you're welcome to ask right now before we get started. Otherwise, we're going to move over to the next part. Ida, Marie, 75, been in a short toxic relationship for a few months. Okay, grief. All right. All right. Well, grief has its important place in our lives as well. So it's important not to rush up to, escape the grief and try to be positive. It's important to take our time to really go through the learning experience and whatever the grief has to share with us. And then when we understand it, we can let it go and then move up. So you're probably going to get the boost here during the broadcast here this evening. Gloria, amazing, 1,000. Wow, all right. Lovely to hear. Okay, so 1,000 by the knowledge of this understanding is where all the masters that have walked here on earth managed to develop. Jesus, Buddha, all of them. So we are now moving beyond what the old masters have done. That frequency is now like all the temple sites that hold this huge understanding of the vortex quantum field around the world. Now all humans are now adding another quantum field of this highest vibration. So the more of us that comes up here and vibrate here, the faster we raise the consciousness of the whole humanity. So it's huge to work on ourselves. Okay, welcome, Justin. Right, let's see. And we will pause this first part and move over to this first presentation on where we are right now in our evolution here. So just going to change to this evening's background picture. A little bit stuck here. Okay, come on. All right. Here we go. There we go. Okay. And now. Thank you, Gloria. First, you scared me there a little bit. It's 100. Yeah, thank you. Good correction. All right. Okay, let's see. Now, so here we go. Okay. So, warm welcome to this first presentation of this fall. A big summary now of the world situation. And yeah, again, if there is anything now that you get triggered by, because it's going to be quite heavy information here and energies, also blended with light, so both the light and the dark, please just take a deep breath, breathe it out, and stay with us so we can clear all the triggers and move beyond that. All right, so let's get started. So welcome, age pioneers, to this world situation summary. And my name is Björn. I'm from Sweden. I am a light worker, doing my best to help being part of this paradigm shift and to raise the energies and awaken people all over the world. Take the body with us, so we are moving beyond all the old programming, taking us to the next level in our evolution. And I am beyond all the religions. I stand for spirituality, which is part of every religion. So I just want to make that clear. No judgments, nothing negative, just peace and love and understanding. So I come in peace, and I want to be friend with all of you. And to talk about peace, in the middle here, we see what is called a life rune. This is a rune in the Viking tradition, and it stands for a human being holding its arm up like this and standing out. This is also when you have victory, you do that, right? Whoa, victory. But it's also doing downloads. So we download information from heaven, and we are here, the ground crew, to help manifest it. So it's used in rituals, and it's also a very high vibe rune or symbol. As you can see, it's the exact same symbol as the peace sign, but here it's turned up. And the peace sign is actually in the rune tradition from its original signs. It's the war sign. So the peace sign that was spread all over the world when the flower power era started in the 60s and 70s, it's actually spreading the sign of war and death. How many of you out there in the world know this? Not many. So part of my mission here is to turn it up. Turn every peace sign up. Stop declaring war and death and start to declaring peace and personal power. Life. So we stand here in the middle of these two worlds, this old world to the left, this dark era in the 3D paradigm, which is now slowly falling apart. And we are in the middle of our paradigm shift, the shift of the ages. So many of us don't want to be part of that old world anymore, in the drama and the war and all, negativity. So we are moving away from that to peaceful places around the world and want to start own communities and being part of a bright future. Grow organic food, live in houses that are beautiful and organic, just everything that has to do with the timeless goodness of humanity and the bright future ahead. So this is the shift from the 3D world to the 5D world, from the era of Pisces to Aquarius, from the Iron Age to the Golden Age. So here you have what's called the hero's journey. This is a call to adventure for all who are in resonance. What we are seeing here is also part of all the masters who have walked on earth before us. Joseph Campbell, a fantastic soul from America, he gave this as his probably the biggest gift he could give to humanity, was after studying all the masters that has walked on this earth and made a huge impact, becoming legends. He saw there was this red thread, and that was this what he named the hero's journey. So individually, we are all going through this, and now the whole humanity are going through this. And it starts with, number one, departure, that we don't feel home here in this world. We don't feel home with our friends and family. We just feel off, and we want to find ourselves and understand the deeper meaning of life. So we leave. And on that search of the meaning of life and finding ourselves in life, we come to the second point, initiation, where we find ourselves, the spiritual connection to ourselves and to God, the universe, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. And we start to download and become just, in love with the spiritual life, downloading and experiencing things that is just beyond expressions of the words, feelings and experiences beyond this realm into higher dimensions. And now we're so many who have done this work since the flower power era, the first wave of the human spiritual release, which was very hard pushed down from the governments around the world. And now we have come to the next part of this human spiritual release. And once you walk on that path, or when we walk on this path, there comes a time where you start to feel full. And now you're not a student anymore, you're ready to become a teacher. So then it's time to return. So we return to the world. And another metaphor is this being a caterpillar going into the cocoon state. And then we leave the cocoon state and we come out as a butterfly. And that is the teacher. And now we're ready to share what we have found. And this is part of this huge shift now in the world for the whole humanity. So we will talk more on this as we go here. So of all the cycles, this is the largest cycle and the last of humanity. It's called the cycle of magic, and it's 4 stages: the Bronze Age, the Silver Age. So it starts with the Iron Age, Bronze Age, Silver Age, and Golden Age. I said backwards. So now we are in the last stage of the darkest time, which is called Iron Age. So if you look at the left corner, you see you are here. And it's just at the break of the Iron Age and the Golden Age. So there is a few different dates on when we are going into this Golden Age, and the final days of the Iron Age are over. One date that stuck with me, which feels most right, is the 21st of December, 2025. So 2 years away. So we're not really done yet with this darkest time, but we can metaphorically see it as we're in the birth channel, the last part of the birth channel. And now it's time to tune to the shift of the ages, because the new energies are already here. So we don't need to live in the dark era anymore. We can live in the new era right now. We just need to learn how to do this shift. Step by step, leave those old negatives and move into the bright future we're all longing to live in. So up in the right-hand corner, it's time to awaken, enlighten, and empower. It's time to realize the highest truth of life. It's time to move from the Iron Age to the Golden Age. It's time to know God and yourself. So this is what we are now more and more working on full time. The shift of the ages. So it's a quantum leap. And sometimes we need to be very courageous to take this bold step and cut the threads behind us to something that has taken us all the way to this point in life to have built up and everything that are hard to leave. Maybe as a method when we were children and we were sucking our thumb or a pacifier, and your parents told you, you're too old now to suck your thumb with your pacifier. It's time to leave those. And you felt, no, I'm not. I still like to suck my thumb or my pacifier because it gives you comfort. So that thing with comfort, peace, and trust, it's something that takes some time to be really done with. And when we're done with it, then we can leave it and we don't fall back. So before we jump, we really need to be done with our own life and be ready as a hero for this hero's journey to become a pioneer in the golden age and just really jump like this guy, all in, all in. So to the left, we see the old human, the Homo sapiens. And it's part of a consciousness which is called the type 0 civilization. To the right, we see the new enlightened being, human being, Homo luminous, the enlightened human, called Gaian. And it's called, in that consciousness, a type 1 civilization. So what's the difference between a type 0 civilization and type 1 civilization? 3 things, actually 4. 1, we live in peace and harmony with ourselves. 2, we live in peace and harmony with nature. 3, we live in peace and harmony with all the animal kingdom. And 4, we have developed free energy. So the whole old system falls because now we're in a civilization where every energy is abundant. So the whole system, the old system falls apart. And now including that is also the monetary system. Because when it's free, you don't have to work to pay your bills because we have all the energy we need for everything. So that also opens the door to be part of the galactic community. So now we are friendly and we can be part of all the other civilizations out in the universe. But that won't happen until we make this shift. So when we walk to the left here again on this list, we see 3D, we see mind, we see ego. So how we are stuck in this paradigm, which we are not really done with. So we are right now in between here, trying to clear our ego, trying to move to 5D and work and think and feel with our heart to let that guide us and live from the soul, right? And then when we follow the list down here, we see to the left, fear and force is very prominent when we live like that, in that consciousness. And to the right, we move over to live in love and power. So when the heart is open, we are loving, we get powerful. When we are fearful, we don't have power. We need to force everything. And then next step, another huge one. We live under this structure called maritime law. And we are moving into natural law. This is also a huge part of this slave system, which we are breaking away from. So everything comes to blocked energy to the left and free energy to the right. And we are moving a huge list here, and it can go on hundreds of other attributes, but you understand the big picture here. We are moving to a whole new level of consciousness. So this is your true you, and this is the true us. So what is part of my teachings and what I have been very deeply diving into is what I call our 3 bodies. So if we look all the way to the right, we see the metaphor for an angelic human being turned on, where we are the soul is the heart, and the spirit is the crown chakra. And together we expand our beingness, getting our wings, spreading our angelic wings, and all the chakras are turned on in full light, full power. So that's where we are heading, all of us, to free ourselves from all the lower energies to really shine. And to be able to do this, we need to look at the other two bodies here, our body and mind and our skeleton. Everything is connected. So now we need to become masters of how we clear all the blockages from our physical bodies, so our spiritual body can shine. So it's a huge transformation that we're all going through to clear all the part of the agenda, the food, for instance, what we eat, you're what you eat, you're what you think, you're what you do. So we need to come into new practices and understanding, for example, all the way to the left, our skeleton, to have our skeleton aligned and symmetrical. So when we do our yoga and we do our fitness work, we need to develop our own chiropractic understanding so we can crack ourselves and erect our spine and make it symmetrical. And then everything falls into place with the muscles and ligaments when we know this knowledge, so we can do our sports in a much nicer way and live much longer in a body that works and feel fine. So we're all able to live way past 100 years old, and that's part of my teachings. So we will come into this more as we go. Here's where this is a little island. This is an island to Malta called Gozo in the Mediterranean. And over the last few years, since the pandemic started, I moved here and I've been teaching and holding retreats, transformation retreats. And this is actually part of the old Atlantis. So here is a portal, these old ancient energies that connect us with where we come from. So this is also part of my teachings, and this is also part of the quantum field upgrade for the whole of humanity, to learn the fall we had in the fall of Atlantis, to now do it again, to learn from our mistakes and learn what we did wrong. So we will talk more about that here now in this presentation. Because what we didn't understand was what the Lemurians understood. So this was two huge civilizations that lived on a very high level of human understanding of consciousness and life and the connection to the heavens and the earth. So the Lemurians were not so developed in the technology, but they had a grand understanding of the heavens and Mother Earth. So they were so tuned in to all the earth life, the nature and the animal kingdoms, and with each other. So they have developed amazing spiritual understanding far beyond the Atlanteans. And yeah, stop there and I'll tell you more as we go here. So I felt I want to dive into this deeper knowledge of the Lemurians. And this was over the spring. I just felt a calling to Hawaii, which is part old Lemuria. And I've been there. It was actually right after 9/11. Went on a spiritual journey around the world to find a paradise place to settle down and do these teachings and hold retreats and also to go through this transformational shift in the world. And I fell in love with Hawaii. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Life took me on a very long journey all around the world. So I've been to many places and checked the energies in many, many places. And this is one of those that I love the most and connect with the most. So this is the Lemurian energies. So I have been to Oahu and the Big Island, Hawaii, and also all the way up there, Kauai. But now I had a feeling that it was time for Maui. So Maui is a place where many old masters also have lived and live right now. And if you look at this, so you see Malta and you see Gozo. And if you put them two together, they actually look exactly like Maui. Isn't that cool? So I just felt, okay, it's time for Maui. Maui is, of course, many times larger than Malta and Gozo. But this is the yin and yang of the shift now of the ages and the development of all human spiritual understanding. We need to understand these two both worlds, the Atlantean understanding and the Lemurian. So I held my last retreat in June in Gozo, and I started to clear my calendar, and I told everybody in my community and on the island that thank you for all these lovely years, and now I'm going to take a little break and then come back from Maui. Then the universe did not cooperate with me at all. Everything was just blocked. And I was like, what's going on? To get the visa to set up there and holding retreats, they were backtracked 2 years since the pandemic, and just thing after thing after thing. Nothing was working. And I start to feel this heavy sadness in my chest, in my heart. And I felt that there is something so off with this whole thing, and I couldn't understand it. So when it's another saying, when you're in situations like this, it's a very good metaphor to see a glass with water. And when the water in the glass is murky, let it stand. And eventually the water will clear. Or sleep on it, wait. If the universe is not working with us, don't push, don't force, never force, wait. So I waited, and this sadness was just growing. I felt more and more just awful. And I actually recognized this feeling from when I moved from United States just before the 9/11 event. And I came back to Sweden, and then whammo, live on TV, that happened. And I had this similar feeling. And again, same thing happened. Few days later, whammo, this massacre from the government, United States government and the military, just slaughtered the Hawaiian people in Lahaina. And I understood why they told me to wait. So here is the pictures of this paradise village, Lahaina on Maui, just a pearl. And this was actually the head capital for the Hawaiians when they settled in Hawaii from the very beginning. So this has a deep spiritual meaning for the Hawaiians, and it's just a holy place. And over the years, since the white man came to Hawaii and starting to take it over from the Hawaiians, tricked them and fooled them and took over, they have done like they always do, take over more and more and more. And now they wanted Lahaina. So there was a press conference about, I don't know exactly, 6 to 8 months, maybe 10 back, where they had a meeting and talked about making Lahaina the main village for this new 15 city thing going on in the world, to make this first island a smart island. So a smart city starting here. And of course, that was not welcome. And then I will show you. There's another view of this beautiful harbor and this, beautiful paradise city. So then it happened. Whammo. Planned in every detail. So I will not go through this event as deep as I would actually like to do. For you who want to dive into this, if you don't already know, but if you are here, you probably already know that this was a new, well-planned 9/11 attack from the, we will come to what I'm talking about, but from the dark forces. So what happened here? I will do it in a brief summary here. So up there to the left, we see the fire in Lahaina, and there was actually many other fires in the main part of the island and also on the big island. And what happened was that this was the day before the school started, and everything was calm and peaceful as normal. And then in the morning, the cell phone and computer connections was turned off. So all type of communication was suddenly broken. All the water were turned off in this whole part of the village, and the firestorm that then just suddenly came in was also not warned about. So the warning system with all the sirens they have, this is the most sophisticated siren system in the world they have here on this part of the island, or the whole island, was not turned on. So, and this was a separate system which is not included in the normal grid. So all these things combined, and there is a long list of everything that happened there. The police chief who works here, he was put here, I think, 6 months to a year ahead of this event. And he came from Las Vegas. And he was the police chief there when the massacre happened in Las Vegas a few years back. So trained, well-educated in these types of events. He came to Maui, and then he went berserk in the police station. So all the old good guys who have been working there for a long, long time couldn't stand the new energy and the new leadership. So many of them quit, which made him be able to recruit his inner team. So that's also part of this whole thing. So then the day this happened in the morning, he told his police officers to set up a roadblock at the northern part of the town and the southern part of the town. So when all this happened, and people started to flee, they were not allowed to leave the town to maximize the amount of deaths. So they deliberately told them to go back. So turn around, and everybody in the north thought they could then go to the south, and everybody in the south thought, okay, then we just go out the northern way. But of course, they got stranded in the town, and that's why we have seen so many pictures with cars burned out. So just beyond horrible. And if we look closely, many who look at pictures like this just see a very unnatural natural catastrophe. We don't have any reference frames of these type of events because many of us, or most of us, has never seen this before. The first view like this was in Paradise, California, a few years back. And what then we started to learn was this new technology that the military is using called DEW, which is directed energy weapons, which is microwave weapons, which can do this. It takes out metal and hardcore structure like housings to the ground, just pulverize everything. But it can leave trees and plastic behind, which we see here. Plenty of trees still standing around, but not a single house except the one down there to the right. Of some reason, they left that. They left a few houses here and there, and you will see that in other pictures coming. So what's going on here? It's another clear picture. Look at this. We don't have any reference frame like this, but it's very obvious that why didn't all these, I mean, it's super dry here. So all these trees and bushes, they should burn nothing. They should all be gone. But there's lots of trees and bushes around, but look at the foundation, it's burned down to the foundation. So this is a new type of warfare against humanity. And it's been going on for a lot of years. It actually started back in I think it was the 40s and 50s, the first experiment. And this is part of one of Tesla's inventions, which he didn't want the world to get its hands on. But that's part of the mystery what happened with Tesla, and the military took over his work. Moving on. So another thing that happens is that it, with microwaves, it start to burn from inside. So all the trees, they start to burn from the inside, to light on fire from the inside. How can that be normal? It's not normal. It's man-made, a new technology, which is now spreading, which is called the new level of wildfires around the world. And why do they want to turn all the forests on fire? Well, that's part of another part of the agenda, to lower the level of oxygen in the air. So it becomes a much, so just to briefly talk about that, when we look back in history before humankind started to spread around the world and the Industrial Revolution, when you start to contaminate everything, we had levels up to way beyond 20% of the oxygen. Now it's way down around 10. And in many cities, it's so low, so you need oxygen masks in some cities in some dense hours throughout the day. So it's a huge thing that they are doing now, to burn all the forests around the world. Here, another very interesting thing, and that is normal fire can't do this. Get aluminium to melt. Look at this. Look at the ground there, where it's melted aluminium. And this we've seen this now in many places around the world where they use these directed energy weapons. But again, most people don't have any reference frames for what they see, so they don't notice, don't think about it, because you rely on your government and you rely what they tell you on the news, right? You believe them. So here is Auntie Pilahi Paki. The world will turn to Hawaii as their search for world peace, because Hawaii has the key, and that key is aloha. So aloha is this beautiful spiritual understanding of just being a peaceful, loving being and being welcome to everybody with an open heart and no back thoughts, and just really being divine. So the Hawaiian people, they have done this from their very start. That's their roots, to being this loving and beautiful Lemurian people, welcoming strangers as their family. And they hold many variations of beautiful ceremonies, just exploring the divine and lifting the energies in so many ways. And now, of course, some of this has become spectacles for tourists, but there is still a strong spiritual community going all the way back to Lemuria, which hold traditions for just the Hawaiians alone. And now, since this happened, there has been an uproar in the Hawaiian community, because, of course, they didn't get any help at all. So all the help, which is supposed to come from the government, now it's about a month and a half later. What happened? Nothing. They don't get any help at all. It's quite the opposite. This is part of the takeovers. They want to take over Lahaina and take over the land. So they're not allowed to go back into the land. And oh, I forgot to tell you this. They're also not allowed to go back to the land because the land is contaminated. Contaminated with what? TNT. This is highly grade military explosive stuff, which is toxic. And it's all over. So many have told stories that they start to hear all these explosions, and they thought it was gasoline tanks from the cars or propane cylinders. But no, it was part of this whole takeover from the military. So TNT all over. Okay, so what's happening? Well, FEMA, the help organization that's supposed to help their own people, they came to Hawaii and they were settled in nice and comfortable in the nicest hotel there, where they charge between 1,000 and 2,000 per night, and lived like king and queens there, still do. And then the poor people that lost everything, and many, there's only, of course, a smaller portion that survived. Most people died. They were cooked alive in their houses or their cars, burned to dust. So the survivors have relocated, lived in tents, and moved into friends and people with big hearts, opening the doors to those who need help, to scatter around the island, and some moved over to other islands and some to the mainland. So after having many discussions with the government in local meetings, and not feeling that they want to help. They don't want to help. So you had Joe Biden coming over there and saying everybody who lost everything, every household will get $700. That is like a double slap in the face after they lost everything, and having, FEMA workers living in hotel, 5-star hotels. What are they going to do with $700? That's like nothing. Food for a few days. The list goes on and on and on and on. So again, I'm just telling you the brief part of this whole thing. But here we say Jason Momoa and some of the Hawaiians here standing up for Lahaina. So this is a new movement, which is so beautiful. And it just shows again this Lemurian energy, where everybody are supporting everybody. Even if we don't know each other, we are a family, so we help each other out. So there is another thing going on behind the scenes, and that is that the elders of Hawaii, they are doing everything they can to now break the contract with United States government to become free and sovereign again, not to be part of United States. So this is also part of why this happened, right? So we see here, we're not American. We will die as Hawaiians. We will never be American. So this is one part of the wars. The first and biggest part of the wars going on now against humanity is a spiritual war. They want to keep us, like I told you before, in this energy scale, in just getting by, suffering and getting by. And that makes us being in fear and fight and flight mode, which is not supported in the spiritual world. We need to free ourselves from that and go up in being loving, open-hearted, and free. So the weather wars is now ramping up big time. And around here where I live, since Maui happened, there is 10 countries plus around the Mediterranean, Greece, Portugal, Spain, Morocco. It's 10 plus countries around here. So I'm like in the bullseye where nothing have happened yet. Hopefully it will never happen. But all these other countries, a lot of wars, from fires to floods, and then Morocco, this earthquake. Again, all weather wars, all behind this new level of wars against humanity in this high new sci-fi world we live in. Military has to this sci-fi warfare. Everything, so to most of humanity, it looks like a new level of natural catastrophes, but it's actually planned in detail, everything. So this organization, I just like to refer it to, like in the James Bond movie, to the Spectre organization. And here's the symbol of this octopusy. And this octopusy is the main controller of the world and of humanity. They took control since the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria, and they are now in their last days. They are about to lose their control, and that's why we see the ramping up of all the warfare against humanity. So the whole thing with the pandemic is also part of everything backfiring on them. And we're so many that see through the agenda, understand every step they take, and understand this chess game going on. And more of us are now waking up to this truth, that it's actually an elite group that actually want to kill off most of humanity and start to live in a whole nother society. So here is the pyramid structure of how they work. So this octopusy is the eye on top of the pyramid. And there is a secret organization, which even many of us who has been on this path of trying to understand it and shed the light on it, we know that there's even more hidden knowledge there, organizations and families who are not known. But here you have the world monarch, and then the Crown Council of 13, the 13 most powerful families, the Committee of 300, the Bilderberg Group, and what's called the Illuminati, and the Deep State, and all of that. We have everything, we understand everything now, and how the whole system is built up to keep all the population, as we see, all the way down, below the religion, below the governments, the intelligence community, the military, the police, the courts, the prisons, the media, and the schools. We are below that, and in this world of slave system. And we are now in the end time of this whole pyramid structure. We are about to break out from this. Many has already done this. Many are already partially free from this, but it's a few steps left until it becomes obvious for everybody, where the news is all over telling us this amazing news, and there will be the biggest celebration ever all around the world, where we will dance in the streets for weeks. So now they're ramping up this divide and conquer game full on. Everything is lie. There is the good question is, how big is the lie? Well, it's bigger than even the most awake of us can even imagine. We're getting to know deeper and deeper things of who they are and what they do and their plans and everything every day. So if we go back to when this energy started to explore the world and take over, like Columbus and many of those explorers, they came to these islands like Hawaii. And to the Hawaiians, they looked like gods, being so sophisticated. And they were, of course, and they just took over. Yes, saw those as, more animal than humans on the same level. So they just took over, being cut off from their heart and their empathy, and just being cruel and, in their world, intelligent. So that's what's been going on now all over the world. The Hawaiians, the Indians, the Native Americans. How many knows that the Native Americans, before the white man came and took over, they were about 60 million Native Americans. And after many years of warfare against the Native Indians, they were only 800,000. Lots of people don't know that. And they also had a war against the bison ox. They were also huge numbers, and they killed them off because they were destroying a lot of the land. It's horrible history, but the same red thread. The other side of the world, the Aboriginals in Australia, same thing, just came there and took over. And these Aboriginals, they've been here for 60,000 years. These are the elders of the planet. They have lots of sacred knowledge for humanity, how to live with the earth. So the white man just saw everybody as what is called metaphorically for blue-eyed. Blue-eyed, not understanding, like being childlike. And that is beautiful. This is part of the beauty of humanity, being pure, being so pure there is not a string of evilness or intelligent calculations of winning and taking over. Just friendliness, lovingness, and pureness, like all children. And that is called being naive. So a person who is showing lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment can be fooled like this because they never encountered this level of evilness. So this is what have happened now for centuries. And now we have come to a point where it's the final step. So now the Hawaiian elders, they have slammed their fist in the table and said, enough. So we're going to see amazing things happen from this new 9/11 event in Hawaii, where there will be a backfire so huge, so it will be part of the takedown of this whole Spectre organization. there is also another very dark part of that, which I actually forgot to say, and that is that the day after, all the children were supposed to start in the schools, and there were more than 3,000 that was signed up to show up, and there was only about 1,000 that showed up. So in their own website, their own registry, it shows that more than 2,000 is missing. And we know what this organization do with children. So this is also part of this whole thing that is so dark and so evil. So this will blow up in their face, hopefully very, very soon. So all love to the victims and all love to all the children and everything that's going on there. So back to this thing now going on in us, when we see and hear all of this, are we falling down into fear, or can we be an observer to all of this and understand it and stay in love? So this is the whole thing. Stay in love. Whatever we go through now, stay in love. To, as soon as we fall down in fear, if that happens, to just breathe, go out in nature, do your best to just clear it, and then come up again in your higher vibe. So it's so important. So that's part of what we see here. All the way down, it says alpha point, and all the way up, omega. So when we say A and O, it's that important. It means alpha and omega to understand this whole thing. So sometimes we feel we are the one that have to lift up the whole world and have the world on others, and we feel alone in this fight. But understand, we are not alone. I've been feeling like this most of my life, trying to save the world from all this darkness, doing my best to be a hero in this time. But man, it's tough, and it's very lonely a lot of times. But now I start to feel support, especially since the pandemic happened. And we are building community from Scandinavia, and now the word is spreading all over the world, and we start to come together, variations communities. And right now, this is what's going on. We are supported from the heavens. The heavens and the spiritual realm and all other civilizations in this universe are here to help humanity with this quantum shift, this shift of the ages, to take down these dark, evil controllers who are so far away from a human being as a human being can be, to say that this is now about to stop forever and will never happen again. So we need to do our part to remember who we are, that we are angelic beings. We are light beings. We come from source. We are part of God, and we are here to remember who we are and be part of this liberation of humanity, to leave our old lower consciousness and ways of being and raise our vibration and become divine spiritual being, which is the essence of who we are. So the support is so overwhelmingly good for humanity. So the days of these dark ones are numbered. And the fastest way to get these evil forces away from here is to now do what's part of this hero's journey, and that is to face the dragon. Face the dragon within every one of us, because we have a darkness inside of us, which they have put in us. In this whole system, we slowly are dragged into this lower consciousness of ego mind, selfishness, and just a lot of lower behaviors that are out of tune with our divinity. So we need to face our own dragon to not slay the dragon, which we were doing in the old times. Now we actually need to become friend with the dragon. So we have that as a positive power inside of us instead of a negative power. And then, of course, in the outer is to face the dragon, this specter organization, these dark forces, to shed the light on them so they will fall fast. And that's going on right now. I actually got a message here right before I now started this broadcast that is a bombshell about to hit that will clear the, not clear, but shed light on this whole pandemic thing of all the leaders behind this in the White House and all the pharmaceuticals, all the head people are now going to be, declared to the world what the truth really is about all that. So big things are on the horizon here. So back to the hero's journey. So we see here the call to adventure, the separation. We go through this crossing of the threshold where we leave the known world and we go into the unknown world. And here we find new allies and we face the dragon, the enemy, right? We have the ordeal and we have the initiation, and then we have the death of the mentor, which is this dragon, which has been our mentor. But we don't want that mentor. We want a good mentor, a wise mentor. And that's the battle we all have to go through with all the temptations and everything that this mentor have given us for feeding the ego. So that's why this whole system is set up with money. So with money and threats, they control everybody in the system. So the road back is the refusal to return to this pyramid structure and this whole very dark system and come to this ultimate reward, which is to become the master of two worlds, to understand the 3D world and understand the 5D world, this angelic realm which we're now moving into. So, develop unshakable trust. Don't fall into the fear when it comes. Just see it as a left and right turn, which is taking us away from the road forward, which is trust in the divine plan. There is a bigger divine plan behind everything that's going on. And sometimes we just need to take a day off, a breather, and then get back on track again to just keep on moving forward. So in this, there is something Joseph Campbell called follow your bliss. And the universe will open doors where there were only walls. So we all came into this world with a gift, with skills that is something that we love to do, something that is our passion. And when we do that, we become excited. We are full of inspiration and all the way up to blissful states doing that. So how can you find a way to make a living doing what you love? How can we do that? That's the question we all should dive into and develop a way to live from that point, because that is part of being a pioneer in the golden age, to live with what we came here to do, the passion, the gifts, what we love to do, how we like to contribute. And another saying is also, how may I serve? How may I serve? How can I serve? I'm doing this. I'm here for you. And for all who resonate with me, you can be part of this journey, and I will do my best to support you, and we support each other. And there will be many things happening here, both on the channel and live retreats and other things coming, events. So that is my bliss, to be part of this huge awakening and the development of these higher levels of spiritual understanding and building this new world. The age where traits are building as the next great age begins. The Sattva Yuga, or the Golden Age. So understand, our future is bright, even though it looks darker than ever right now. It's just the last attempts of the dark ones to take over and put us in fear, because they know their days are over, and they're doing everything they can to bring most of humanity with them, but they're not going to succeed. So we are here as the ground crew to bring down heaven on earth. And that's part of the Golden Age mission. So we have to do our part. We're all important pieces of this big puzzle. And the more of us who awaken to our mission, the more we spread that inspiration to others to wake up on the mission. And the pieces of this big puzzle start to fall into place. And for that, it's back to basics, back to us. We need to do our inner work. We need to clear ourselves from all these negativity, all the triggers, all the sorrows, everything that is traumatized in our body, and start to lift our spirit, lift our energies, raise our vibration, clear everything that is not supposed to be in the body. And part of that is doing parasite cleanses and candida cleanse. So we are cleared from all those, the inner war that's going on in our gut, in our organs, in our brain. So we are, because that's stealing a lot of energy from us. So every day there is a war going on inside of us. And you know, when the sun goes down, that's when these guys wake up and they start to send a signal to the mind that they want something good to feed on. And they don't want any healthy food, they want crap. So many are stuck in these cycles because they don't understand that it's these guys inside that crave the sugar and crave the bad foods. So it's a huge shift now to learn to clear ourselves. And to after this healing phase, we need to empower ourselves, to lift ourselves up, to strengthen our bodies, and learn to align the skeleton, the physical body, and our spiritual self to make ourselves shine. So, thank you for being part of all these Golden Age pioneers waking up and starting doing the mission here. And thank you for being part of this World Situation Summary. And with that, we can open up for questions and thoughts. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hello, Maria. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Eric. Okay, so we have a few that I did this in Swedish yesterday. So we have a few that's with us again. Love that. Great to hear. Okay, welcome. samples. And if you have a name that it's not your name, please write your name so I can say your name. Makes it nicer. A question I feel most of us have is, when will everyone awaken? Some say 2030. I mean, assuming it will be 2030, then we can probably expect things kick into high gear very soon in the coming new year. Yeah, so to summarize all of this, now there is another thing that I missed to say, and that was that before 9/11, there is technologies that can read the vibe in the air, the quantum field that all humans send out, the level of fear, and right now it's up to 13 times bigger than before the 9/11 event happened. Many of us are so tuned in and can feel there is something coming, because they are in their last days and they are becoming desperate. So some type of major event is coming, which will be part of this great awakening. Hopefully it will not be so bad and not cost so many human lives. Hopefully we will stop it in its tracks, but shed light on it so it will be obvious for everybody what's going on. And it's like a dam that's about to burst. If you see the wall of the dam, you see a lot of water all over for things that are now coming out and yeah, become obvious what's going on. The lights are out there. But to see the whole thing, the big picture, that's when the dam bursts. It will be a tsunami of truth coming out, which will be an overload for many who are not aware of this. But that's part of what's called the Great Awakening. And that could come, because right now it's two timelines fighting to win, and that's the light and the dark. So the dark ones do everything they can to continue with the 2030 agenda, to take down most of humanity, and those who survive, they will be transhuman and becoming part of their future paradise world, where the AI system will take over completely. But it will not happen. So it's just a matter of time until this whole thing falls, and we will have this liberation. And it's not going to be 2030. It's going to happen much sooner. It might start to unravel now over the next few months. So great things are in the air happening. All right. Veronica, hello again. Brilliant, Björn, and everyone here too. Thank you, Veronica. Eva-Karin, love to see you again. Okay, so we have more coming in again. Love it. Thank you. Okay, don't be shy. Please come with questions and thoughts. Okay. So we have a shy audience tonight. I see. We are okay, good. Think about it. Yeah. Yeah. So there is so much more to talk about and so much more in the pipeline here, but I feel what I've shared this evening, it's so big, it's so humongous, it's so loaded. So I want to stick with this and not add more. So that's why I'm kind of keeping quiet here and waiting for you to come on. And yeah, if you have a question or just thoughts or maybe some input to share, some light to share. Okay, then I can continue with some other light to share, and that is in this whole awakening process and this upgrade that's going on, the heavenly realms and the spiritual structure, we have actually moved so fast in this transition. So we are about 25% ahead what we were supposed to be right now. And if we would stand beside ourselves going about 20 years back around the 9/11 event there, 2000, we have now become, we were more dense in our physical structure then. We are more transparent and more light today than we were then. So we are moving ahead, filling our system with light and higher vibrations in a faster pace than what was planned and hoped. So that's another fantastic knowledge to be part of, to understand. Thank you, Monica. Thank you. Magnus, question. There are two timelines now that are now going to be one. Can you elaborate on that? Time flies very fast now, it feels like. Yes, exactly. So we all feel when we're in the flow and in that positive timeline where everything just feels peaceful and loving and supportive, and then we fall down and we feel that heaviness and sorrow and nothing works, nothing clicks in, and it's just problems and so very obvious two different energies, right? The merging is, of course, when these evil ones are taken care of. So that whole system is turned off. Because right now, there is so many technologies. This weather warfare is not for the just for the weather. You know, the HARP system, the 5G technologies, all our phones, all these networks are on a frequency which are disturbing humanity. But as we raise our frequencies and vibration, we go beyond that, so it doesn't disturb us anymore. But once that is turned off or tuned to the higher frequencies instead of disharmony, they become harmonious. We're going to be so wowed over the peace and harmony we're going to feel in the atmosphere all over the world. Right now, we're so used to this disharmony. So the harmony we can feel is only a part of the harmony that we eventually will feel when all these evil ones are taken care of and all these bad technologies are taken down. So that is also a very huge part of this new timeline when that finally takes over and that becomes the golden age. The golden age. Yeah, so we just to a little bit more, we can all, you know, backtrack in our life and feel how every year is speeding up. Year after year after year, time goes faster. So there is something coming to a point of, a clash where this eventual liberation happens, and then peace, harmony, all these distractions, all these stress is gone forever. Okay. Samples. What's your name? You're welcome to share your name. So let's see what you have here. Yeah, it's all really beautiful. I'm happy to be living in this time. All I wish is for my friends and family to wake up. Yep, many of us are there, all of us. I am 17 and have nobody expect YouTubers like you that resonate with me. Yeah, I understand, and that's very common. So warm welcome, and I'm glad you're 17 and are awake. That's fantastic. You have such a bright future ahead of you. Fantastic. If there are any tips you could give, it would be helpful. So I think to maybe watch it again, because it's so profound. So there is so many things that we need to just sleep on, think about, work on for some time now, to really move away from everything that holds us back and to liberate ourselves, to work on ourselves, clear our bodies from all toxins and everything that's been put in there, all the bad foods, all the bad thoughts, and start to do healing work and training, physical fitness training, so we become strong again and can handle trying times ahead here. All right, Stefan. Hey, Stefan. Was the hurricane in standby mode south of Maui like it was off New York or 9/11? Yeah, it was far out in the ocean, and so they used one technology for hurricane, and then another technology. It was actually several for the destruction of Maui. So a variation of technologies for the destruction. So for the fire and takedown of this whole community. But yeah, that's correct. And of course, man-made hurricane, not the normal one. All right, so since this is the first broadcast I do, I understand we're just a few getting started. So we're about 56 right now, and this will grow week by week. I think next week will be much more, because I'm not going to do it on Swedish next week, just the English one. So let's see what we got here. Ida Marie. There are classes where you get your Merkaba activated, or you can learn to do practice to awaken it in 2 years' time. But maybe my Merkaba is already awakened. So in this process, we're all being uplifted, upgraded, where the Merkaba is slowly taking shape. And of course, it's also depending how good we are doing our inner work and working on ourselves, where the Merkaba takes almost becoming a part of our physical structure, but it's a spiritual, in the spiritual realm. This is going to happen to everybody, because it's about clearing the negativity. And when we are free, that's when the Merkaba field, which most of us cannot see the aura, but we will start to see the aura. That's actually part of why it's called the golden age, because we're going to start kind of a golden shimmer, a golden aura around all living things. So that's part of the upgrade. Once we come to that frequency in us, that shifts our way of being able to see. And many of us who has glasses to now read the text here, we will not be needing the glasses anymore. So we will actually start backtracking, become younger as we go here, and clear our negativity and clear all the crap from our systems. And that's part of everything right now. Super important. Eric. Hi, Björn. Thanks for today and yesterday. Great message. Can you give us your best meditation advice to open up the third eye? I'm trying all the time, but not making much progress. Light and love. It's very good to just become more childlike, blue-eyed and naive, and just to start to play with seeing what you wish to see. Just as we were kids, many of us, when we dreamt, high quality, super, like cartoons and hero movies where we fly and, there's so many details and we fly in different worlds, all of that. And that is important to get back to. So just to, instead of making it so hard, make it more light. Just, if we close our eyes and just imagine someone you love standing in front of you and giving you a bouquet roses right now. And the roses smell so strong, beautiful rose smell. We can all do that. That's very easy for all of us. And little things like that, and just start to play with it and take it further and further into more advanced levels, where you start to fly and move into the future to see your future, so you can help take the future back here now much faster, shorten that distance. Just play with it. And it's also important to learn to sleep good. So when you sleep good, then most of us will also remember what we dreamt when we wake up. But if we are restless and don't sleep good, we don't remember what we dreamt. And if we dream, we don't dream nice dreams. So everything is about becoming peaceful, getting in tune with life, trust the life process, know that everything will be fine, even though it looks so bad. So in that mode, we turn on our spiritual gifts, and many more are on its way to be activated. Actually, that's something I also missed to take. I have so much to share, so it will come bit by bit. But one of the things that is also now going on is that we are becoming totally DNA activated. All those DNAs which the one part of the dark agenda is calling in the science world, what do you call them? The sleep. They look at the DNA as human are already developed to its full potential right now, but actually we're closed down so much. So it's part of the DNA that has been sleeping, who are now being reactivated, which are developing our spiritual gifts. And many more are developing. And one of the most important one is actually our intuition, our tummy to feel truth or lies, which are becoming very easy for us. And another little funny thing there, when it comes to being blue-eyed and naive, look now what happened here with the pandemic. A smaller part of humanity had this gut feeling developed and felt, no, I'm not going to take those injections. No way. Absolutely not. the bigger part of humanity felt, yes, yes, gladly, give me, just give me whatever, how many you want. I'm here, right? So now we're learning that those who have left their heart intelligence, their tummy, and trusting yourself and your intuition, and starting to, instead, you trust authority. You give away your power, you give away your intuition, you give away that skill, which is crucial for every one of us. And then big mistakes happen. So they thought that the minority of the people who didn't take it was the blue-eyed and naive. And we who didn't take it understand that it's actually the opposite. Those who took it are the blue-eyed and naive. So it's a very interesting time. Many of these things will now come to surface, and we will become a much more spiritually developed human being. So, Emre, nice to have you here with us. Can you touch on how the religion fits into the pyramid? What I know is that most religions hold partial truths, but have been tampered with by the evil side to separate us. Yep, you're totally correct. Okay, thank you. Yeah, next one. Eric, thank you for these tips. I am unvaccinated and so happy for knowing from the start that this was all lies. So I'm glad to hear this. You're welcome. And also, another good news is that in this transition to the higher vibrations, we're actually blasting everything that is not supposed to be in our bodies. So there will not be as many casualties as they were hoping it would be, because we are turning on our higher vibrations from inside and burning off everything that is not supposed to be there. So that's also important to know. Okay. So if there is anyone else who would like to share something and have a good question, please write it now. And then we will move over to the last part, and that is to end it with a nice little meditation here and on a high note. All right. Then thank you everybody who has been part of the question here. Okay, so we have one more. Veronica, we are now rebirthing into our new world with new cells. On its way, like Björn tells, I feel like I'm in mother womb when being in nature. A tipping point will probably come, and the rest will probably fall into place naturally, right? Yes, beautiful, Veronica. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So with that, thank you for being part of this and coming with good questions. And just all of you who are in the background to keep the high vibe and being part of this. Thank you. Let's see. So now, let's change the energy here with another beautiful background, which is helping us to dive into meditation state. I have selected this one. Coming here. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, so where do you go here? Sorry, just a second here. Just want to change the vibe, and sometimes the technology is a little bit slow. It's coming here. Here we go. Here we go. So to spend time now doing our inner work and enlighten the inner sun, it's so important. And as we do, we become better and better at it. And eventually we come to a point where we can actually start to really levitate. Hopefully that will also be part of what's coming. But I mean, in our mind, in our spiritual inner journeys, and just elevate our life in so many ways by going inside on a daily basis. So let's do a little journey here together. So allow yourself to just stretch a little bit. Sitting down here many hours, it's important to, I don't want to sit in the middle, understand the physical structure also needs to be stretched, right? Roll your shoulders, move left and right, and just feel yourself fully in your body. Open up these blockages after a few hours sitting, right? Which makes the meditation so much better. Okay. Now, we're going to go inward for a little journey here. I hope you will like it. And the only thing we need to do is just relax and recharge our batteries. So we will start by just taking a deep breath and relax. And now, just allow yourself to completely drift away from this world, taking a break, recharging yourself, recharging your batteries, and recharging your body. So, we're right behind the eyes. And now, let's just drift away and slowly leave the body. So we are coming down to our throat, out to our shoulders, down through the arms, all the way down to the hands. Having the hands laying in our lap, palm up, and taking a new deep breath and allow this part of your body to relax. Coming up again through the arms, to the shoulders, to the upper chest, and then into your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, down. Also, the front of the chest and on the back. Just feel how the energy is relieving. And as we stay here in our heart, take a new deep breath, and we let our heart, our lungs, and our shoulder blades relax. Continuing down, down, all the way down, passing our solar plexus, passing the navel chakra, and coming down to our tummy, all the way down to the deepest part in the tummy. Same thing on the back, all the way down. And inside every vertebrae, down to the point we sit on. We take a new deep breath and let this rest part of the body totally relax. Very good. So we continue down to the buttocks, to the front side of the leg and the back side of the leg, down to the knees, down to our calves, all the way down to our feet, all the way to our toes. And we take a new deep breath, and we let now the rest of the body also relax. Three, two, one, and there we leave the body. We leave the body and we fly away down, 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 all the way down to the earth middle center. We fly in a high speed, and slowly we start to come closer and closer to the center of the earth. And we start to relax, slow down, and here we are, and we stop. And then just let's tune in to this deep, earthly, grounding energies, and allow yourself to just recharge your batteries. Wonderful. Deeply grounded. It's now time to start to lift and start to fly up. So we start to fly and we pass the surface of the earth, fly straight up from the place where we live, all the way up to the sky. And we fly through a cloudy field, which is spread out with a lot of open patches. And beyond that, far up in the heavens, all the way up where the darkness start to meet the light. We start to look around and we see each other spread out all over the world. And we start to come together in a middle point. So we fly toward each other and we start to come closer and closer. And here we are. We meet up and we create a big circle, holding each other shoulder to shoulder and feeling at home. Soul family, hello. So nice to be together and so nice in this time. So we just let ourselves relax here. We stay in this position and we let go of each other and we just sit down and we turn our eyes toward the world. And underneath us, we see the world and all its glory spread out in this beautiful shimmering lights, the blue, the green, all of humanity's structures. What a sight. Also notice that we can actually see the whole of humanity and its level of its spark, its light. We see the spiritual progression depending on how bright every soul shines. We see how some are shining like crazy diamonds, sparkling, super bright, spreading light far and wide. And we see the dimming slowly and all the way down to those who are gray. And then we also notice there is many more, and they're in the darkness. Dark spots having a strange shimmer. And we see how there is a longing to break out from that darkness and becoming part of the light of the bright human family. Those who are trapped in the darkness. Our heart goes out to those. And let's now just come back to us, to ourselves, and understand the importance of this now and here, in this time we live in this moment in our human evolution, and the importance of being a bright light and adding light to the world and being part of the human light family with solutions, with good energies, with a nice, beautiful personality. So let's just take a little moment here, come back to ourselves, and just strengthen our energy field. Great. Wow, such nice energies. So now we are strong. Our aura is wide, spreading out in all directions. And now let's start to send out to each other. So the saying, give and you shall receive, is now coming into practice and experience. And we are many here, and many more will follow over the weeks coming. Many will take part of this meditation, many thousands. And as we do, this field will become super powerful. So as you give, you will get hundredfold or even thousandfold back. So let's just start to send energy to each other and open up for receiving at the same time, and tune into the feeling of this in this group, this safe group of doing this practice. Let's begin. So strong and so beautiful energies. Thank you. Very good. So now we have established a second field, super powerful. So we have our individual and we have the group field activated. So now we can turn to all our friends and family, all of those who we wish to wake up in this process. Let's now include all of them. So in a moment of quietness, allow all your family, friends, and loved ones come into your mind, see them in front of you, and just share these beautiful energies with them, which will help to speed up the process of them waking up. And we can start to talk with each other about everything. No more miscommunication and blockages. Just loving, open, beautiful communication. So, 3, 2, 1, send. So beautiful energies. Wow. All right. So now that's the third field activated. Now, let's move over to the fourth field, which is the rest of humanity, the whole human family, and especially the dark ones who needs to get their dark egg cracked wide open and let the light in. So in a moment of silence, just turn your focus to the whole human family in all their variations of being awake, to those who have closed their hearts and are working for the dark agenda. And let's just help to raise the vibration and open their hearts, and seeing this awakening and this love spreading in a beautiful, non-interfering, forceful way, in a gentle, beautiful summer day wind, which is just gently flying all over humanity, which is with its light beams, and awaken and stirring up this vibration to everybody's highest best, filling them with good vibes, making them feel good, making them wanting to do good, making them wanting to be part of this huge evolution step which we're now taking, waking up to our missions in this fantastic time we live in. So play with it. 3, 2, 1. Send and activate. So beautiful. Thank you. And now, as the last piece of the puzzle, let's not just be takers. Let's be givers all the way, and including the source, the universe, all those who are on the other side, helping us on the other side of the veil, and include God. We're always wanting to cash out from God, always wanting help from the other side. How about to give back and understand the energy of as you give, so shall you receive. So let's be generous and be thankful and grateful and loving. And now including in the last part of the field, the whole circle is complete with those on the other side, all the way to the source. And just feel the expansion of the vibration inside of you and in the field in the room. 3, 2, 1. Send. so wonderful energies. Beautiful. That's so powerful. All right. So with that, all levels are activated. All levels are vibrating high, balanced, and harmonious. With that, we start to come back to ourselves, up here, high above the earth, sitting here in this circle with soul family. It's time to say goodbye for this day. So we turn to each other, we hug each other, we go all the way around so everybody gets a hug. And with that, with a sparkle in our eyes, we look at each other and it's time to fly home. So we start to fly and we have a nice, good speed, not too fast, because we're really in such a nice mode now. So we want to enjoy the journey here on the way to our home, looking at the landscape underneath us and seeing all the souls that we were with start to spread out in all corners of the world, their light shining bright, and so are we, and the feeling inside of us are fantastic. We start to see the place where we live in the horizon, and slowly and surely we're getting closer and closer, and there we see our home, and we pass through the roof straight down to the body. We see the body, 3, 2, 1, and there we come in through our feet, and the energy in the body goes, whoa, and feel how nice this new energy we come in with feels. And we start to merge this new energy in our body. And we start to move up the feet, up through the ankles, the legs, all the way up to the knees, all the way up front side and back side to our bum, and into our tummy. Here we stop and we take a deep breath, reaching down with our breath, touching the soul in our tummy. Super grounded, super activated. We move into the spine, and vertebrae by vertebrae, we start to move up the spine. We start to spread the light front and back. Our root chakra, super activated and grounded. Navel chakra, same. Up to the solar plexus, which start to shine in full power. And we come up to the heart, where we stay, and we take a new deep breath and start to come back to our body more and more. And also feel, as you let go of this breath, how your shoulder blades are actually your angel wings, starting to relax, open up, and spread out. Great. We move upward, vertebrae by vertebrae. We come up to the throat, which is the center of our communication. And here we get reminded of how important it is to understand this crucial thing about communication, which is 5% of our communication is what we say. 95% of the communication is the point we come from behind the words. 95%. So therefore, it's so crucial now to be in our best, being balanced, being open-hearted, being beautiful, and willing to be part of this spreading of good vibes with no dark agenda behind, just goodwill. And we take a new deep breath and really feel the breath passing our throat and activating our throat chakra to become fully activated, balanced, and harmonized. Excellent. With that, we move out to the shoulders, down through the arms, all the way down to the hands. And we start to wiggle our fingers a little bit, feeling how we start to come back more and more to the body. We fly back up through the arms, to the shoulders, to the neck and throat, up to our face, which immediately spreads out with a big, beautiful smile. And we move up through the face, smiling with our eyes, and we stay right behind our eyes with at our third eye. And here we start to see with a third eye everything that is about to happen. And we connect that with our whole system and feel we're now one step further on our path, activated and more capable of achieving what we came here to achieve. And with our third eye now also activated, balanced, and harmonized, we look up to our crown chakra and feel the light coming down from the heavens, and from inside of us, we shoot out that energy and they connect. Now, fully energized, fully activated, we see and feel our aura field spreading out in all directions, super grounded, in balance and harmony throughout our system, spreading out our aura several meters in every direction, and the antenna is fully on to the source above. And with that, we take a last deep breath. And when you're ready, you open your physical eyes, and we come back to here and now. All right. Wow. That was fantastic. Okay, dear friends, what a fantastic evening together. What an amazing journey, and what a moment in time in life we're in. So super thank you everybody who has participated. Thank you for all the questions, and thank you for just being here, holding a nice high vibe. I hope everything has landed really nice. And I wish you a fantastic week ahead. Good night's sleep. And I look forward to see you here again next Sunday, same time, 7 o'clock. And eventually here, there will become more and more things. So keep an eye on the channel. Great things to come. So thank you, everyone. Take good care, and I see you soon again. Bye for now. And sorry, thank you, Magnus, so much for being a moderator and keeping it nice in the chat. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.